Homeschooling isn't always picture perfect. Welcome to Homeschooling with Dr. B, where we'll help you find solutions to the challenges you face and celebrate your successes with you. Now, please welcome your host, Dr. B.
Welcome, my tenacious homeschool tribe. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of my pet peeves with homeschool, the happy, perky homeschool mom syndrome. Don't let the mini ears fool you. That's not me, okay? Never. Not me. What do I mean by the happy, perky homeschool mom? When you go to these homeschool groups, you're going to meet some moms that always seem happy, always seem perky. And they talk about things like, did you work on your kids' morning basket? Let me tell you what I was doing in the morning. I was making sure that the kids had protein in the morning because, well, Andy has to take her ADHD medication. So I was telling her to come downstairs. She wasn't doing it. So even though I woke her up at 7:30, she's still not dressed by 8. In the meantime, Dora, oh, thank God for Dora, she gets down, she gets herself breakfast, she starts breakfast for her little brother. Andy still hasn't gotten dressed. And I'm yelling at her, come downstairs and eat because I have to give her the medication. Because right now we're homeschooling with a co-op. So we have to start at 9. But in order for her to be ready at 9, it means that I have to get her up at 7:30. In the meantime, my Barkies, I have 3 Shih Tzus, one that belongs to me, one that's supposed to belong to Emmy, and the other one that's supposed to belong to Bug. I say supposed to because they're bark, 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 and I'm running around trying to take him outside in those triple, double leashes to take care of business, to come back inside. Now I've yelled at Emmy to come downstairs too. It hasn't happened. Now by this point, I start getting grumpy. Can't help it. I don't understand why I have to yell 50 times for them to get downstairs. And the thing is, I would love not to yell. I would love to go up and down the stairs. But I was in an accident. I have bad knees. And going up and down the stairs kills me. It leads to a lot of pain. So I can't do that because I have to run around after a 5-year-old. I yell and I yell some more and I hear Andy scream back, I'm coming. But she's been yelling that for the last hour now. The best thing, the ideal situation is for her to have breakfast and then take her medication 30 minutes later. But of course, she's not downstairs. Lately, she's been making her own eggs because she doesn't like my eggs. She doesn't like the way I cook eggs. So I can't help but be a little bit hurt that she doesn't like my eggs. I mean, I've only been cooking for her for 13 years, actually, because she just started cooking. And so I can't cook her egg. She will accept pancakes and sausage from me, which I do whenever I can. Finally, after yelling for maybe an hour, I get the twins downstairs. I can honestly tell you this happens almost every single morning. No matter what I do, no matter when I set the timer, it doesn't matter if Dad goes to get them up. It's the same situation. So morning baskets, I have no idea what a morning basket is. And regardless of what kind of a mood I woke up in, which most of the time I awaken in a great mood, an hour later, I'm pissy. I'm pissy because I've been yelling for an hour. And then somebody has the nerve to come downstairs and say, breakfast is cold. No, really, Sherlock? If you had come when you weren't supposed to, this wouldn't have happened. But I don't want to say that. I try really hard not to say that because just because they ruin my morning doesn't mean that I should ruin theirs. I want them to be in the best mood to learn. But I'm not that happy, perky mom. Sometimes I lose it. I will say things like, you're the one that wanted to be in the co-op. Why can't you get yourself downstairs on time? Not happy, not perky. So when I hear the other moms talking about the morning baskets and their relaxed mornings and all these things, I used to think to myself, I'm a terrible homeschool mom. Just terrible. Why can't I be like them? Happy and perky. Until I started spending more time with those happy, perky moms. And I discovered that the majority of them are just as frustrated with their kids as I am with mine. They lose their temper as much as I do. They just smile more about it into the world. I don't know, maybe they're a glass half full rather than a glass half empty kind of people. Great for them. And I mean that without any sarcasm, okay? But I'm just not that person. What I really want to say to you is, don't feel guilty if you're not that person either. Don't. The thing about being a mom is, number one, you don't have to be perfect. And the thing about being a homeschool mom is, number two, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And you have to love your children. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's what creates the perfection. I try. I do want you to know I try every day not to let my frustrations with Andy drive me up a wall, which is kind of hard because I'm a type A personality, but I know she's not. And I keep that in mind. I also keep in mind that she doesn't have very good executive skills. And that's part of her ADHD. And I have to help her learn to cope with the challenges that she faces because of that. The other thing is that I often hear from these happy, perky moms that they never get tired. They take their kids on field trips, they take their kids to a bazillion classes, and they never resent it and they never get tired. Well, I'm really impressed by that. But again, that's not me. I get tired. Not only am I a homeschool mom, but I'm also an older mom. I had the twins when I was 40. This year, I turned 54. And I have a 5-year-old. You know how much energy a 5-year-old takes? Well, you might. But I don't know how many of you know how much energy it takes on a 54-year-old with bad knees that's trying to lose the weight that she gained because of the accident that messed up her knees. I get tired, and sometimes my knees get this really dull ache that just seems to get into my bones and just like try to dislodge them. I don't feel perky. I don't feel happy. And I kind of resent that I have to drive the kids around because it's killing my knees. And I think selfish things to myself, like, why am I doing this? My mother never did stuff like this for me. I turned out just fine. I should stop doing it. I think it, but I don't say it. And the reality is that I wouldn't have it any other way. But I complain inside my head. And sometimes I complain with my friends, and sometimes I complain with the other homeschool moms. It doesn't mean that I don't want to do it, that I don't want to continue taking my kids to their classes or to the field trips or so on and so on. I'm just not that happy, perky mom. And I have to be honest with you. I've tried. You know that old saying, fake it till you make it? I've tried in the past. Because it's hard. You'll know what I mean. Or maybe you already know because you're already a homeschooling mom. But at least in our homeschool community, I meet a lot of happy, perky homeschool moms. And I'm thinking, is it something in the water? I mean, what is it? What is going on here? And am I drinking the wrong water? I tried faking it. I tried being happy. I try being perky. It doesn't work. Tragedy of tragedies. It doesn't work. It's exhausting. And it just makes me grumpy mom. That's what it makes me. Trying to be happy and perky when that is not me makes me very grumpy. I start looking at my kids wondering, what was I thinking when I had the twins? What was I thinking when I took on 2 more? Oh, but I do love them. But life wouldn't be so bad if I could go back then and I could say, nope. As soon as I start thinking, if I could go back and no, then I'm over feeling sorry for myself. I love my kids more than anything in the world. And I really enjoy being their mom. I absolutely love all this time that I get to spend with them because I'm a homeschool mom. But I'm still not happy or perky. Just not my natural state. I do seem to surround myself with happy, perky moms. Oh, my friend M. A shout out to her in California. That woman always seems to be in a good mood. She is just bubbly. And I love being around her because she fills me with joy and she brings out the best in me. I miss her. I wish she hadn't moved back to Cali, but she did. She left me without a happy, perky mom here in Florida. Who's my butt? Ironically, she moved to California, where I met my original best friend, another happy, perky mom. She was never a homeschool mom. But a shout out to R, because I often think that she's the model I should follow. You know, she was happy, perky. She brought out very strong and independent children that are following their own path and are happy and successful in what they want to do and the way they want to live their lives. But I can't be like her. And it makes me wonder, why do I surround myself with these women? You know? And of course, I'm going to give a shout out to North Carolina, where S lives, the ultimate happy, perky mom. And this year, because of the pandemic, a homeschool mom. Now, I thought maybe she'd get a little grumpy here. She does have a teen daughter, and boy, am I learning that the teen years can be difficult. But no, she's still happy and perky. It's such an absolute downer. How could she be so happy and perky? Just a teenage daughter. She's homeschooling, and she's homeschooling in the worst possible situation. Because homeschooling right now is not the same thing as homeschooling was a year ago. You don't have all the activities, all the socializing, all the wonderful things that we used to be able to do. Let me tell you, I miss being around other homeschool moms. It's not just that I miss my kids participating in the activities, it's that I miss the moms. So how is it that in this difficult situation, in which she's embarked on a journey she didn't choose, with a teenage daughter, she's happy and perky? How? And you know, the worst part is, lately I've seen a lot of these t-shirts that say, I homeschool, so I drink. None of my friends drink. Neither do I, for that matter. And they're still happy and perky. So I know it's not the alcohol. It must be in the water. The thing is, don't feel bad. Don't feel that you have to live up to this expectation of a happy, perky mom. Don't feel that you have to be the perfect homeschool mom, the one that can juggle everything. And if you start feeling bad, think about me in my morning routine. The fact that while I'm homeschooling, I'm also doing laundry, trying really hard not to make lunch for anyone but Bug, because they need to become a little bit more self-sufficient and independent. The fact that as soon as I'm done doing all of this, I'm going to take a 45-minute nap with the dogs because I'm exhausted. And if I don't take that nap, I'm not going to love my children that day. When I get up, I have to cook dinner. And then I have to prepare for the next day of lessons because I'm not that great at math. Do not feel that you have to be a happy, perky homeschool mom in order to be a successful homeschool mom or to be a good mom, because it's not required. Only thing required is love. That's what makes us perfect in our imperfection. So if you belong to the, what do I want to call myself? The Grumpy Mom Club? Join me on another episode of Homeschooling with Dr. B. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe and share. We need more grumpy moms in the club. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Remember, life can be overwhelming. Homeschooling doesn't have to be. Join us for our sometimes challenging, always wonderful homeschool journey. For links and resources, please visit our website. Till next week, enjoy your kiddos.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Homeschooling with Dr. B. Head over to homeschoolingwithdrb.com for more information and resources. That's homeschoolingwithdrb.com. Until next time.